Hello, everyone. I'm very excited today to talk about documentation and how I've been taking a lot of notes for my Salesforce job and how I've been breaking it down. And with my company, we use the product OneNote, which is a Microsoft Office product. Um, and so today, I've been preparing for this for a while. I built out a OneNote for my own personal account so I would never share any kind of company information. And I've also been building out the corresponding tickets and whatnot to make this demonstration from my developer org. So I'll be moving through things quickly, but I'm very excited, very blessed to be able to share this with you guys today. And so without further ado, let's start looking at some screens together. So this is my Microsoft account, Andrew Cotton here, and within the products, and many of you already know this, but I'm just walking through from ground zero, the applications that are free from having a Microsoft account. One of them is OneNote here. So if I were to click onto that, it would take me to this. And these are the notebooks I've been building out. I definitely prefer to be working in the actual app itself. So I have that open here. And what we'll be doing is we'll be looking at how I break things down, the different kind of notebooks I have here on the sides. And I just want to empower you and just encourage you about your documentation methodology. A coworker of mine showed me this. Currently, I'm at my first Salesforce administration role. And this coworker of mine was like, this is how I document things. And I took the ball and ran with it. And I've asked for critiques with other coworkers and other Salesforce pros. I've been able to share the way that I do it with many other individuals to empower them and encourage them and just have them trial and error it. But this is what I've been doing. And we'll be flipping from this to this developer org. This is a fictitious, as you can see from the URL, this is a fictitious developer org that I've been building out. It's been fun to take on projects and build things progressively. And this is called Fiber Great. It's a play on words in reference to the show The Office, where he wanted to make a paper company called Paper Great. But this is a telecommunication fictitious company, so we'll be referencing some of the tickets there. But what I want to do is take you through how I break down the notebooks, the sections, and the pages, and then make everything searchable and try to make it so that I can always be growing in it and evolving in it. And I'm excited to continue to grow and have this be a different chapter of my life when I documented things this way, but this is how I do it. So let's look at it together. So as you can see, we have these notebooks here, and I label them as such. SF for Salesforce, Salesforce work, and then the quarter that it pertains to, and then the year. So as you can see, pretty clear. If as soon as we kick off a new quarter within the company with the company I'm currently with, I start off a new notebook, and then I break it down as such. So within Salesforce Work Q4 of 2022, we have the three pertaining months, right? And then we have what I have this sub tab here, and it breaks it down to the ticket types. So there's bug tickets, support tickets, and feature tickets, each with their own type of personality type. Bugs are more like this didn't work yesterday, now it should work. Support is like we need this to work so we can bring in more money for the company. And then feature ticket is building something that does not currently exist, whether it's automation or a new object. The list goes on, but that's a very short overview. And then unfiled helps is people that walk up to my desk, people that Teams message me, people that email me and say like, hey, can you fix this? This is what I saw. Here's a screenshot. So that's how I break down the sections there. And I'd like to take you through those. So we have in the month of December here, I have each of the month sections. They have their own pages here. So I always leave the first untitled page. It's just kind of something that I do. I want the timestamp on it here. And of course, we can zoom in so we can see it more clearly. But I like the timestamp being there. It's kind of like leaving the first page of the journal blank, right? But with the other section, the other pages within each section of the months, I have learn from. So when I have, and I'm Andrew, again, this is just for my demonstration purposes, but with learn from Andy, when I have my monthly one-on-one, this is my December monthly one-on-one. And it's like, here's questions, about CPQ or volunteer possibility for me to give back to my community, attending Dreamforce, other building types of questions, leadership podcasts. So that's like, it's another digital place where I can go to write things down. So it's not all in my head. It's not all in my physical notebooks, which I have a lot of. I have notebooks that I write in all the time, but I want to be better about documenting things digitally pertaining to my job. The next tab we're looking at is random. So random, it's still pertaining to Salesforce, but it might just be other things that they don't really fit into a ticket. It might be a graphic that I saw that I liked. Some of it, and we'll zoom in here. Random. Actually, we can collapse this section here. But random, it's like different screens, and we'll get into this too. But I made this so that all the screenshots will stay together. We can move the entire section together, as you can see. So just other things that could be funny, screenshots from the UAT, Joe Dirt. There's other coding things. The reason I threw this one in here is because there's other things I would find that are just kind of random. They do pertain to the job. And obviously, this is something that anyone in the company could look at, and there's nothing shady in there. There's nothing inappropriate. There's no kind of unintegrable things, but it's all pertaining to job things. So we'll zoom out a little bit here. Just other graphics, Salesforce Plus, different things that I wanted to grab, right? This is for just demonstration, example purposes. Personal, it's nothing that's too personal. It's not passwords. It's not bank account information. It's not anything like that. I could put those in Google Docs or other things for my own purposes. But when it comes to Ironman triathlons, web assessor for more Salesforce testings, fitness programs, focus on force, trailhead, race registration, I don't have any hesitation to just grab screenshots and put it in what I call a personal page per month, per quarter. So that's what those sections pertain to. So that's it as far as like what we have on those guys here. And now, and a lot of these are placeholders because this is just for demonstration purposes. But let's look at SF Work Q2 2023. So it's the same type of idea that it would be the 3 pertaining months to that quarter, and they would have their pertaining untitled page is kind of the blank page. Learn from these different people, different random things, and then your personal screenshots, personal things that pertain to you that the IT people can see as being backed up onto your company cloud. I just threw this Cinco de Mayo screen in it. That's my birthday. But as you can see here, it's like they have the 3 subsections plus the unfiled helps. That way it's like we can always go back to those different tickets. And we'll talk at the end about how it's such an advantage to digitally document your Salesforce work or other types of business analyst or other kinds of project management things that you do so that you can search on it and find it very quickly and easily. Quick side note, you'll see this all over my real documentation. Obviously here in this documentation, ASDF is just kind of a line breaker. We can just type in line breaker, but then if I put something else in, I wanted to keep that space. ASDF is just like a piano roll. I'm a piano player, guitar player, and drummer. So you'll see that throughout my documentation. But I wanted to just jump into that particular notebook so you can see that it's uniform. Like I always have the 3 months, the 3 types of tickets, and then unfiled helps. So there's that. And then now I'd like to show you more of what it looks like when we click into the 3 section, right? Like that's the meat of why we're doing this, so that I can reflect back and say, oh, I have this type of ticket that came in, and I assign it to myself. And I say, okay, what is it? It's a data load. It's a DocuSign. It's a dashboard. It's something else that needs my attention. And it's like, I did this before. I can reference it within my digital documentation very, very quickly. Or if there's a question to say, Andrew, what did you do on this ticket? I can find it, bring it up, and look at it. So let's look at this together. So this is Q4 of 2023, and we have the 3 pertaining months, right? And then this subsection here, bug support feature, unfiled helps. And these are what I'm drawing your attention to now, is that I would label all the pages as just a quick title to say, what is it? Are we changing something with the knock department? Is it a distro list fix? So I can have that quick thing in the top title section. But then we go into the way that I break the pages down. So we'll move this guy over here. myself over there. And what we're looking at is we have the title of what is the ticket. We have the hyperlink that takes you directly into the ticket itself, which we'll click on in just a second. The things, you can title it differently, but this is just my methodology at this juncture of my career path, is that I just write the word things and then I put like, what did I do to solve this ticket? And once it is complete, I always write close with a period at the end. So that if I ever wanted to quick reference back, I would just see the word closed at every page, because every page represents a ticket that I took on, whether it's bug, support, or feature. Any pertaining links that will take me to it. If I'm working on a Visualforce page, I can just have a link and it'll take me right to the page. And then any type of screens that pertain to that ticket, especially when I'm about to change something, I'll take a screenshot that has, last modified by this coworker. I'll take that screenshot, I'll throw it into this part of my documentation, and that way, after I change it, and then it says now modified by Andrew Cotton at this time and this date, I can always go back and say this was the last person to touch it, or I changed it from one status to another. I adjusted something. It's just really wise to say, if I need to change it back, this is exactly what it looked like before I changed it. So as you can see, there's more of the ASDF finger roll to break up the spaces, just to show a clear break between screenshots. But as I hover over these, you can see that these are the movable sections. And I do that on purpose so that each piece, if I were to come back and add more to it, or I'm actively building out to solve the ticket, I can just bump these down accordingly. So at this point, I want to go ahead and click into this guy. I'll move myself down here. And as you can see, it's the same type of title as the ticket itself. Adjust the filter on a dashboard. So that's what we're doing. That's the objective of this ticket. It's in the closed status. So this is the ticket that came in. It's a Salesforce bug, and that is the reason that this exists inside of the 3 category of bug, and I'm able to quickly search for it. I will say this at this juncture, is that when I do my real documentation, I take the ticket number, and I put it at the very beginning here. So just very quickly, I could grab that and I would put it at the very beginning as such, so that even if someone says, "Hey, Andrew, what did you do on this ticket?" I can grab it and just throw it into the search here, which we'll do in a moment, and it'll bring up that exact ticket, and I'll say, "Oh, okay, well, I opened that on this date, and this is the things I did, and here's the screenshots, and everything else that needs to do it." In a matter of seconds, I can be right in the place I need to be to speak intelligently about what I did and why I did it. So the next thing I want to show you is this other tab here. This is another example of a Salesforce bug ticket, DocuSign malfunction. The same idea where it's a hyperlink. It'll take us right into the ticket itself so we can find it. It's in the closed position. That's a Salesforce bug ticket. Has all the clues and everything to it. Again, this is my fictitious developer org to practice and build in. And then if we go back to the OneNote, there's the links to the DocuSign itself, the user, and I prefer to always have like the URL there so I can read the URL. This is the case object as of right there. This is the user. We're looking at the actual user record of it. So that's what I wanted to bring to your attention. I think this is a good place where I can talk about the search capabilities within OneNote. So something that I wanted to bring to your attention right here is many times if there's some type of wonkiness to Salesforce, which there's a lot of types of unique limitations and workarounds that need to happen, I'll type into my OneNote, I'll put refine me. And I want to type it 3 different ways so that it's your preference on how you want to document that. But I type that in there specifically so that I can make that note to say, like, this is what needs to happen in this order. And I can then just take the word refined, and when I search for it, it'll bring up that particular ticket. We could also type in, this is recent ones. We could type in dashboard, and it'll take us to the different tickets that say the word dashboard in it. We could put in DocuSign. We could even type in the number that we most recently searched for. And then as you see there, like that's that top piece there that we were looking for. Um, let's type in find. And the great thing is that this is the refine me, as I've been belaboring that point. But also, the great thing about this is that it'll also take in the images. This is huge. So this is one of my screens, but it says the word find in it. If it comes up in your search menu, it's because it exists somewhere, and it'll highlight it. But you have to use your eagle eyes to see like what is it bringing my attention to. But the fact that you can search for things and it can be on the screen itself is a very big help. We're going to move on from that point now. The last thing that I wanted to do with you guys today is just we're going to look at how I take a ticket and just go ahead and create it. So this one here is what we were going to look at. This is a data load. So we have an attachment that has an Excel spreadsheet in it that has, we need this data loaded in, whether it's changing this particular field or creating these new records. We're not going to be opening up the attachment, but what we're going to be doing is just creating the OneNote page. So we'll hit copy on the URL, and then we'll go in and go into the support tickets. We'll hit new page, pull it down to the bottom if it's not the bottom one. We'll go ahead and delete this page right there. But this is what I'd like to do is just click into here so that we can keep just the URL, so that will go right to it. We type out the word things and then hit home. We can go into the bullets. And then we can go into the ticket itself, and this is data load for service delivery. So what we can do is we can very quickly, you can see how I work through my tickets. I'll write notes to myself knowing that I need to go back and delete those, but it's a starting point. Testing the UAT org, telling myself to log in as the user. And then from there, as you already saw, we can go in and put in the links to the page, other things that pertain to it, and then also the screens. And as you're seeing, like, I don't want this to be a continuous block. I want it to be its own block so I can move them accordingly. There's been many times where I'll be working on a project and I'll need to make extra notes to the side. The ticket could take extra long, especially the feature tickets. The feature tickets can spin out of control sometimes with documentation. So being able to have these as bricks that are movable is very important to me. And so we're about to land the plane. Just wanted to show you that, yeah, the feature tickets, those have their own type of nuances to them. We'll go ahead and move it over here. Actually, we'll make this slightly bigger. Okay, and then so if I were creating a new record type and page layout, we can go, it's the same concept, but with this type of feature ticket, we always want to be building in UAT, work on it in UAT, and then adjusting automations, creating record types and page layouts, and making it so that when I reflect on it a couple months from now, I can make sense of it and go on. So that concludes my time with you. I'm really glad that I was able to create this. It was a great challenge to build out more of my developer org, and I hope that it is helpful to you. If you don't institute it, that's fine, but it's nice to have more navigation points onto how other people do their documentation. And I'm excited to grow and do other types in the future, but this is where I'm currently at. So I hope that it was very helpful. And that's it for now. So Happy New Year to everybody, and get after it and take care. And definitely reach out if you have any questions. It's very easy to find me, Andrew Cotton, on LinkedIn or Facebook, or leave a comment here if you so desire. I'm happy to jump on calls, and any kind of critiques or insight that you like to give too. I greatly appreciate that too. So that's it, and take care, and God bless you. Bye.